it was created by our ancestors. So it upholds Ubuntu in the fact that by respecting those monuments or by failing to pollute it, our culture will be maintained, because some of them, they can go there worshipping and whatsoever. Furthermore, we've got the soapstone beds, the Great Zimbabwe bed. It is one of our tangible cultural heritage which maintains our culture, that we appease the gods. And furthermore, we have got what we call non-tangible cultural heritage, which includes language. We are using Shona, and Shona. It upholds our Ubuntu. Why in Shona we say tinomhoresa vakuru, tinokwazisa vakuru, handitika tinoremekedza vanhu, tichitori language yedu ine tine maitiro atotoita nayo, tichomende na Ubuntu hwedu. Handika furthermore, all these folklores or folk tales, they depict how the Shona lived a long time back, and it depicts Ubuntu because there is respect, they teaches humility, they teaches love, and it's part of Ubuntu to have all these aspects as part of your life. Furthermore, we've got So here the question says, to what extent does cultural heritage uphold the Ubuntu among the Zimbabweans? So first and foremost, what you have to know is there are certain questions that are referred as cross-cutting themes. This question can link to heritage itself as a subject, FRS as a subject, and history as a subject. So you must be able to answer such a question. Even IKS, they can be asked in FRS, they can be asked in heritage, they can be asked in history again. So first and foremost, the question denotes, or the question demands candidates to prove how cultural heritage upholds the Ubuntu. What is cultural heritage? Cultural heritage, it is cultural events that are passed from one generation to the other. And when you are talking about culture, we've got what we call tangible and non-tangible cultural heritage. In terms of tangible cultural heritage, we depict every tangible artifact that denotes our culture. Cannot anything chinobatika chinekakuita neculture yedu. So tangible cultural heritage, these are things which can we touch with our own hands. For example, we've got Great Zimbabwe, a monument, we can touch it. It is part of our culture. Why we are saying it's part of our culture? At Great Zimbabwe people, it is known that it was a worshipping center. And certain people, Mashikiro, Zimbabwe and whatsoever, they even go there today and they are appeasing the gods. And this maintains our culture because it depicts how the Shona people lifestyle was. It depicts that people used to live in stone houses a long time back, and this it upholds our Ubuntu as a people. And then furthermore, we've got Chinoi caves. In Chinoi caves, it is known as sacred caves that are found in Chinoi, and the people, they respect that physical monument. Do you know that they do not pollute it? They maintain it. Why? Because it upholds our culture. Because they believe that it was created by our ancestors. So it upholds the Ubuntu in the fact that by respecting those monuments or by failing to pollute it, our culture will be maintained, because some of them, they can go there worshipping and whatsoever. Furthermore, we've got the soapstone beds, the Great Zimbabwe bed. It is one of our tangible cultural heritage which maintains our culture, that we appease the gods. For example, the Hungwe totem is one of the most prominent totems in Zimbabwe, which is even denoted at the Zimbabwean flag, which is even denoted on our man and all other certificates or any other important Zimbabwean document. It has these soapstone beds. Why? Because they believe that Nyatsimba Mtota and this group, they played a fundamental role for the perpetuation of culture and heritage of Zimbabwe. Furthermore, we have got mountains. For example, we have got Matopo hills, we have got Matonjeni mountains and whatsoever. Those mountains, they uphold our Ubuntu. Why? Because people, they go there to appease the god, especially for rain-making processes and other initiatives. And above all, rivers, for example, Zambezi River, Sawe River, these rivers, they believe they are associated with the spirits. And also land. Our land is our cultural heritage, because the land is part of our culture that it cannot be permanently sold. Even in rural areas, land is administered by chiefs and it is administered by village heads. And there are those who have the ability to allocate land to people. So by having land as it's part of our culture that land can be transited from one generation to another. It upholds Ubuntu that people, they respect the elders in the society, they respect what the chiefs are telling them to do. And furthermore, we have got what we call non-tangible cultural heritage, which includes language. We are using Shona, and Shona. It upholds our Ubuntu. Why? In Shona we say, tinomoresa vakuru, tinokwazisa vakuru, handitika tinoremekedza vanhu tichitori language yedu ine tine maitiro atotoita nayo tichomende naubuntu hwedu. Handika furthermore, we have got taboos. For example, the taboos of the natural environment, for example, hunting taboos, they maintain Ubuntu in the sense that when you are going to consult for hunting to the chief, you are maintaining Ubuntu of respecting the elders. And furthermore, we have got oral tradition and expression as non-tangible heritage. We have got what we call riddles, ngano nezvirawo. All these folklores or folk tales, they depict how the Shona lived a long time back, and it depicts Ubuntu because there is respect, they teaches humility, they teaches love, and it's part of Ubuntu to have all these aspects as part of your life. Furthermore, we've got what we call rituals. We've got what we call birth rituals, puberty rights and marriage rights. For example, puberty rights and marital rights, they are good because they uphold the Ubuntu. For example, puberty rights such as virginity test, they uphold the Ubuntu whereby girls cannot be prostitutes because they wanted to maintain the ideology which are depicted with these rights. Then furthermore, we have got Kurova Guva. It is a right which upholds Ubuntu while they retain the spirit of the dead. Consulting them, it means you are respecting them, you have humbleness upon them, you listen to them, you are obedient. So in Ubuntu, all these are the aspects of Ubuntu. Furthermore, festive events such as Bira, and they are good. Why? They uphold Ubuntu because when we brew beer in order to practice Bira, to uphold Ubuntu. Then however, we are now looking in deep on how these tangible and non-tangible heritage are not upholding Ubuntu. For instance, we have got issues such as Great Zimbabwe as a tangible heritage. It is not upholding Ubuntu but tourism. And where Chinoi caves is tourism. Soapstone beds, they are upholding integrity, not cultural heritage. Then my mountains it's part of our, we found minerals there. And it's our wealth. Then ukaenda kunoku kunani tangible heritage takuya tichitotsvaga kuti language is no longer proving that we are upholding Ubuntu because people are now speaking different language. For example, I'm a Shona man, but now I'm speaking in English. So language does not value that one is maintaining Ubuntu. And furthermore, we have got taboos that are no longer being followed. For example, taboos that if you sit in the road, we are going to get mammoth and whatsoever, people are no longer believing in it. Furthermore, rituals such as Kurova Guva, people are no longer practicing them because they are saying they are barbaric and satanic. And saka izvozvo zvese zvaprova kuti we are no longer maintaining Ubuntu through cultural and heritage that is tangible and non-tangible cultural heritage. And ndomanyoro waida kuti vaisei tapedza.